What ended your lifelong friendship? Growing up, Michelle was my anchor in a world that felt temporary. We met in 3rd grade when I was the new kid again, fresh from another foster placement that had fallen through like all the others. She shared her peanut butter sandwich with me that first day and said, "Don't worry, some families are worth the wait." Then the Hendersons adopted me at age 10. Michelle cried happy tears in the courthouse hallway, clutching the friendship bracelet we'd made from art class. Her own home life was chaotic. Screaming parents who forgot to buy groceries, lights getting shut off or unpaid bills, doors slamming at all hours. But she never resented my luck. She'd sleep over at my house whenever her parents were fighting, which was most nights. My adoptive parents gave Michelle a key to our house and called her their bonus daughter. She kept clothes in my dresser and had her own toothbrush by the bathroom sink. For 8 years, we were inseparable sisters by choice. At 16, something shifted inside me. I started wondering about my birth mother obsessively. Who did I look like? Why did she give me up? Did she ever think about me on my birthday? The questions consumed me every day. I'd stare at my reflection for hours in the bathroom mirror, searching for clues about where I came from, whose eyes I'd inherited, whose smile lived in my face. My adoptive parents tried to help with gentle suggestions about counseling and patience, but every dead end felt like another rejection echoing through my bones. Michelle stepped up immediately when she saw me falling apart. She used her entire paycheck from her weekend restaurant job to hire a private investigator. When that didn't work, she spent nights hunched over my laptop, researching adoption databases until her eyes burned red. "We'll find her," she'd promised during my worst breakdowns, when I'd curl up on my bedroom floor sobbing. "I won't let you go through this alone." For 2 years, Michelle sacrificed everything for my search. She turned down a full scholarship to her dream university to stay local and help me navigate the emotional maze. She worked double shifts, coming home exhausted with grease burns on her arms to fund our investigation. The other kids at school whispered about how Michelle was throwing her life away for me. I felt guilty and would insist she let me do this alone after everything she did, but she didn't listen. The day I turned 18, I was ready to give up completely. We'd followed every lead, contacted every agency, driven to 3 different states. I was convinced my birth mother didn't want to be found. That's when I went to Michelle's room to return her laptop and saw the letter lying open on her unmade bed. It was addressed to Iris's birth mother in Michelle's careful handwriting. The return address was one I didn't recognize. The postmark was from 3 days ago. My hands shook as I read the devastating words. "I'm sorry, but Iris passed away in a car accident 2 years ago. Please stop trying to contact her. Here's the money back that you sent for the search. She would have wanted you to keep it." The signature was Michelle's, but written in a shaky hand like she'd been crying. I found 17 more letters in her desk drawer, all with recent dates spanning the past 2 years, all in Michelle's handwriting, all telling my birth mother I was dead in increasingly detailed ways. There were also bank statements folded carefully in an envelope, showing regular deposits of $500 to $1,000 over 24 months. Money my birth mother had been sending to help with search expenses while believing her daughter wasn't here anymore. I confronted Michelle that night when she came home from work. She took one look at the letters scattered across her bed and didn't even try to deny it. "I found her in the first month," she said, staring at her sneakers instead of meeting my eyes. "She wanted to meet you so badly, Iris, but she's a mess. Drug problems, in and out of rehab. I was protecting you." The lie crumbled when I called the phone number from the letters. My birth mother, Megan, answered on the first ring like she'd been waiting by the phone. Her voice broke completely when I said my name. She'd been clean for 5 years, working as a nurse's aide at a retirement home. She'd been sending money every month, begging Michelle for updates about my health and happiness, planning our reunion. Instead, she'd spent 2 years lighting candles on the anniversary of my supposed death. Megan drove 8 hours through the night to meet me, arriving at dawn with photo albums, baby clothes she'd saved in a cedar chest, and a leather journal she'd written every single day since I was born. She'd never stopped loving me, never stopped hoping. The police found Michelle's real bank statements hidden under her car's spare tire. She'd used my birth mother's grief money to buy a new car, fund her college applications, and put a deposit on her own apartment. She'd stolen $15,000 from a mother mourning her living daughter while watching me suffer daily. At Michelle's sentencing, Megan read a statement about the 2 years she'd mourned while I searched. The judge called it psychological torture and sentenced Michelle to 3 years for fraud and emotional abuse. Michelle's last words to me in the courtroom were, "I was protecting you from disappointment." Megan and I walked out of that courthouse together, leaving Michelle to spend 3 years thinking about the mother and daughter she'd tried to keep apart. The girl who once shared her sandwich with me had turned into someone who fed on others' pain.